interview with me. That's awesome. I mean, besides the fact that then I started researching, I'm like, oh my God, he's from Cincinnati. This is my buddy here.
Yep.
Okay, so Mr. Tucker, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm doing fabulous now that I've gotten to meet up with you.
Yes.
How was your experience doing Harvey?
Ooh. Well, my experience, I had some damage to my house, but mine was because of the heavy rains. It came through my fire through my chimney, and all that water started to get on my hardwood floors and come through the roof. So I had to kind of soak that up really quick, and then I had water to come up through the into the garage. And my home, it never floods over there, but nothing compared to the damage that a lot of people face. My biggest thing, I had cabin fever. I can't stay in one place. So I was just driving up and down my street.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I did the same thing. Every day I was going out documenting how the water was getting.
I was doing that, yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I was like, I think we're going to die. I think we're going to die. Like, just accepted it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted this interview with you because first, you're from Cincinnati, and we really don't ever hear about people from Cincinnati,
No, we don't, do we?
No, I mean, I found out Cat Williams was from there, Avondale area, and then maybe one other person, but yeah, you really don't hear about people from Cincinnati.
Well, let me hip you to some game. Yeah, Cat Williams, I thought he was from like
Avondale?
Dayton, but he was in Avondale?
Yeah, I think he's from Avondale.
That's from where I'm from.
Yeah.
Avondale and Evanston is next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great boxer, Ezra Charles. James Brown lived in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Chess Records was out of Cincinnati. We had Bootsy Collins from Cincinnati.
I heard that. I was trying to research that.
L.A. Reid is from Cincinnati. Dr. T is from Cincinnati. Was it? I think Atlantic Star, Midnight Star. Midnight Star is from Cincinnati. Funk, the Ohio Players.
Oh yeah,
out of Dayton and Cincinnati area. So there's people that are from the tri-state area, but it's not a lot. I always tell people, if you're not from there, you won't. It's not a place you just go move to.
No.
But they have changed the over the Rhine area a lot to the point I was thinking like, man, I could live down here. It is beautiful. It's like a utopia down there, and it's funny because that used to be a place where a lot of drugs and murders and crime used to happen, and I stayed in an Airbnb place down there. And when I came outside, man, it was nothing but white people walking and babies and walking and dogs. And I'm like, do you know how much blood is on these streets? Oh, and they're just like, oh. Yeah, so I was just amazed. And all this happened in a matter of 3 years.
When was the last time you were there?
I was home in July.
In July?
And then I was home again in May.
Okay.
I go back often. I was going to go for the Cincinnati Texans game, but then my nephew backed out on me, so I wound up staying here.
Okay.
Yeah, I get homesick. I mean, Cincinnati's in my DNA.
Oh, so you missed those Grippos and BW3s.
If you look at my Instagram, I got
Skyline Chili
pictures of Grippos and oh my God, Skyline Chili.
We go. Kroger sell the freaking cans, right?
Yeah. I have a funny Skyline Chili story. Some things are better left in the past. So, I'm home maybe 2 years ago, and I'm hungry, and I passed Skyline Chili, and I said, I'm gonna go get some Skyline Chili. So I order it, I get it, I sit down, I eat it, and I want to throw all of that up. It was disgusting. And I thought to myself, I used to love this food, but I think my palate has
Changed.
Yeah. I still love White Castles.
Yeah, you know, they don't sit right with me sometimes. I just they're good. They are. But you know, it just whew.
And I still like Izzy's. But
oh, what about Frisch's Big Boy?
Oh, Frisch's. I haven't had that in probably 20 years. I might have to try that one next. I was afraid. They used to have this place called Roy Rogers hamburgers. Oh, they used to be so good. But they don't make food the way that they used to.
No, they do not.
They don't use the same ingredients. No. They don't use fresh stuff.
No.
You know, a lot of it's chemically induced base. So, I don't know. I used to love Frisch's. In school, they used to give us these certificates. If you did good in school, you get a free Big Boy. Mm-hmm. I'm afraid to go into Frisch's.
He said he's afraid.
It tastes like how Skyline chili tastes to me.
Oh my goodness! You know, I don't even eat it that much. I do remember those hot dogs though. Okay, so the other thing that grabbed my attention about you is you had an interest in music, and it led you to
visuals. Damn,
right.
You really did your research.
Well, because that's sort of the same thing that happened with me. You know, actually, I started out with poetry, and then I was like, I heard Erica Badu, and I was like, well, let me try to, you know, put my stuff to some music, and then I did that, and then I shot my first music video for somebody because I was helping out another artist, and I was like, when I did that, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because you get to do everything with film. You can incorporate all of your art, and I've always been told, just do one thing, and I was like, I don't want to do one thing.
Right.
So what was that moment for you, you know, that made you just give up on music or set it aside you know?
Well, here's the story. A lot of people don't know this, but I was a vocalist at first. Mm-hmm. I was a singer.
The R&B group, right?
I was in an R&B group. I mean, you did your research. We had a deal with Gerald Busby at Motown. Mm-hmm. And I had been singing all my life. For me, what I do is actually I'm anointed in what I do.
Right.
It's a calling. This is what God's placed in front of me. Mm-hmm. And I sung all my life in church. And when I would sing, I would always see colors. Those were visuals I would have in my head. Mm-hmm. So with the group that I had that was in, I wanted to put our demo together. That's when you had cassette tapes. Yeah. I wanted to add an element to our demo that nobody else is doing, and that was what everybody's doing now, is putting a visual to our demo. I wanted to show a live performance of us at one of our showcases. And I got a camera here actually at the university, and I edited our performance, and the more I shot, the more I tried to fix it and edit it, the more I was just like hooked. And my next door neighbor at my apartments had a camcorder, and I would walk around shooting everything with this camcorder all day, all night. Just like how kids are now, but then that wasn't common. And I did our video, and I could tell that the group wasn't going to go as far as we had, as I had hoped. Mm-hmm. And when it kind of imploded, my thing was I was hoping we could get to finish our deal with Gerald Busby to get to the single deal that he was offering us. But before we could get to the single deal, the group broke up. And I was hoping that we would stay because I was going to ask him for a job. I wanted to work. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to that point. And when the group broke up, I was left with this strong desire to create visuals. And I kind of got burnt out with the music. And so I had a kid, and I was trying to figure what was the next step. And I said, I was really interested in the video thing. So I said, I'm going to try the video thing, and I'm going to actually go to class. Mm-hmm. And that's how the whole Dr. T visual thing kind of got birthed. And I wanted to be a music video director. So this was around,
97?
Well, I graduated in 97. Mm-hmm. But this was around, we were doing the music around 92, 93. Mm. Yeah. So I actually started going to school when I came back around 94.
Okay.
And that's when I committed to actually getting a degree.
You said that's when I committed.
I didn't. I came to Texas Southern not thinking I was smart enough to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
I actually found myself at Texas Southern through some of the professors here that took a personal interest in me and started to massage me as a young man into a man. Dr. Lou Brown and Dr. Reza Poudet really pushed me in ways that I didn't think existed for me as an academic or even as an individual. And they strengthened me to the point that I actually visualized myself having more and being more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, what was your first, I guess, professional video that you did?
My first professional...
or paying job.
My first professional job, actually, again, like I said when I said I wasn't doing it, I tried to do other stuff. I tried to get a job at Target, and they wouldn't hire me.
See what you did at Target? You told them no, now look what happened.
Yeah, exactly. My first paying job out of the blue, another stupid thing, was at Channel 11. I got my first job. I was hired as an editor. So
it was a news station?
At a news station.
Did you do it? Had you had an internship before that?
Never had an intern, never PA'd.
Okay.
This is what I'll tell you about the anointment. I always thought I was good. I got an opportunity to work at Channel 11 because of some work that I showed them through the SHAPE Community Center. Mm-hmm. And when the piece that I did, it was like a PSA, was done, the news outlets were there, people from HR were there, and they all handed me their card. And my silly butt thought, of course you would hand me your card because I'm that dude, right? And so
that's a Cincinnati attitude.
It's a Cincinnati attitude. And so the people at SHAPE was like, yo, you call those the news stations? And I'm like, nah, I ain't working for the man. And so one of those ladies pulled me to the side and said, you need to call. I've always had a high IQ of common sense. So I said, well, maybe there's some truth in what she's saying. So the first one I called was Channel 11. And the lady said, hey, yeah, come on up. Can you edit? And I was offended that she asked me, can I edit? I said, can I edit? But this is what I thought in my head. Can I edit? I mean, you saw my work. Hell yeah, I can edit. So I said to her, what came out my mouth was yes. So she goes, there's a position open in sports. And they're looking for a weekend editor. This would be good for you. So I go down to sports, and the black guy that was hiring, he asked me, can I edit? And I said, can I edit? Yeah, I can edit. So in my head, I'm like getting more and more offended. These people are asking me, can I edit? When y'all call me, I didn't call y'all, right? This is what I'm thinking.
I was cocky.
I was cocky. So the guy's telling me, look around, how many black faces you see. And I said, well, I saw 3. He said, well, there's about 5 here. He said, if you come here, you will have to carry that legacy because I'm going to hire you. I said all the right things, right? Mm-hmm. He says, I'm going to hire you, but if you mess this up, then he used the adjective. But if you mess this up, I'm going to come to your house and fire you. Do you understand me? Mm-hmm. I said, I definitely understood you. So he said, well, can you edit? He asked me that again. So I couldn't contain myself. I was like, can I edit? I actually said this. Can I edit? Can I edit? Man, I'll edit something for you right now. You want me to edit? I'll edit something right now. What do you want? What you want me to edit? So he started laughing. He said, okay, all right, cool. Introduced me to Gift Nielsen, Carlton Cole, Matt Musil, and at the time, Butch Alcindor. And they hired me. First day, Carlton says, John, grab one of those teleops and put it in the edit machine. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking around like, what's a telop? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. We call them teleops. It's beta tape. Grab a tape,
Did I take that?
Oh, no, that's just one.
Okay.
Yeah. Grab a tape, put it in the machine, and cue it up. So I'm looking. I don't see the tape. He was like, that's a beta tape right there, John. He was like, what do y'all use? I was like, oh, VHS. Nobody in production uses VHS, right?
No.
So he said, oh, okay, well, this is a beta tape. You go ahead and put it in the machine. So now I'm looking for the machine. He's like, this is a beta machine right here. Go ahead and pop it in. So I was like, oh, I had never seen a beta machine.
Oh, you got the new equipment.
Not the TSU equipment. So he goes, go ahead and just cue it up and do your endpoint. I'm looking at this machine that I've never seen, and I'm like, I don't know how to use this. He started laughing. He said, okay, let me show you. So I thought to myself, if that dude would have said, yeah, let me see you edit something, I would have messed up and not got that job because I didn't know how to edit. I thought my experience was with the little, basic beginner edit set that we had at Texas Southern, not the professional grade equipment that was used in the industry. And that was a humbling experience. And so then to come to find out that the lady, they all offered me their cars as a courtesy. They weren't offering me their cars like, we want you, please come work. So when I called HR and said, hey, this is John, and she asked me could I edit, it was because she was trying to get me into, trying to find a place for me. And thank God these words didn't come out my mouth. But that's been my journey. I've been anointed in getting these opportunities to work and for my work to resonate. It's a calling. I truly believe that. Because like I said, I tried to do other things and it didn't. I couldn't do it. This is the only thing I've been able to do.
But hey, not that many people have been successful at doing what they majored in. So
yeah, absolutely.
So that is truly a blessing within itself. So are you done? Like, do you have any more goals or?
Oh, just getting started. Well, my goal was, at that time, I wanted to be a music video director. This is at a time when a lot of people wasn't doing that.
Right.
A lot of my peers wanted to be directors and filmmakers, but I wanted to direct music videos because I was a musician. When I first came to TSU, my major was music, and I changed it to communications. And I was so in love with music that I had a voice. I wanted to create visuals to music. And I studied people like Hype Williams, Paul Hunter, Brett Ratner. These guys.
You did it on your own?
Yeah. I would watch their work. I would get copies of their VHS tapes of their videos. And I would sit and I watch it frame by frame, trying to figure out what they did, And then I would mimic that stuff here with the equipment. Of course it didn't come out to that level, but it was giving me experience. When I left TSU, my first job was at BET, and I found myself as a producer of a show called Rap City. And when I got there, I really got into the business and into the culture, and I was gearing myself up to leave so that I could start directing music videos. And when I did leave, that's what I did. And I was just passionate about it. I think my work resonates because that passionate energy it resonates through the visual. And I think that's what people remember my work, because it has a soul to it.
Yes, sir, it does.
Yeah.
Good storyteller.
Yes.
How you learn that anyways? Telling stories.
My cousin used to tell me stories. Her husband, my cousin's father, used to tell us stories in Detroit. And I used to always beg him, man, tell me another story. I thought these were real stories. He was making them up. And so then I would start mimicking him. And I just turned to a storyteller. I mean, your path is kind of defined through your childhood or through experiences that you have in life. Where I am right now in my career is that I'm at the stage where I want to direct film. And so I'm directing my first film. We're setting up promotions for that film now. It's called Possum 2. It's a French New Wave film.
I was going to say it, but I just couldn't pronounce it, so I'm going to let you do that.
Yeah, it's a French New Wave film. I'm still thinking I'm pronouncing it because sometimes I say Possum 2, Possum 2. Ooh,
I like that one.
You like that one? It means shameful not. It's about a brother who is trifling. In French, it's insignificant. Or insignificant. And he is a guy who's living off of his grandfather's Social Security. His grandfather's dead. That's illegal. And he uses people. He's an asshole. He's arrogant. He's trifling. And his friends around him in his community, when they see him coming, they're like, they turn the other way. Well, this brother gets drunk one night off a bottle of Cavassier. He wakes up in the morning and speaks pure, eloquent French. Still an ass, but people treat him different because things that they think he's saying is so profound. It's kind of like when they say a smile can change. So when people are treating him different, he starts to take to that. He starts to like it. He starts to like his position. It actually starts to make him actually, for the first time in his life, want something more out of life. There's a vagrant who, because he's been discarded by society, but he's layered. He's lived life, and he actually speaks French and understands it. And he starts to school the lead character on, can't desecrate this language. It's as if God's, for women, is as if it's God's words to their ears. And you can't be calling women bitches and hoes using this beautiful language. And he starts to teach him and mold him, and this character starts to develop. And I think it's an urban tale, but it's also with French New Wave sensibilities and techniques. And I think this piece is so important because it shows not only can I direct actor in English and in French, I can also tell story. And it's thorough. And this is the vehicle that I'm using to get to that next step of opportunity.
You have 100% creative control over it?
1,000,000,000% creative control.
Well, that's awesome too.
Yeah, it's awesome too. Yes, I have a really great partner, Andrew Toscano, who has invested in me and believes in this this dream that we both share, in telling these stories and creating content. Eventually, our goal is to create content that we will license and sell to networks. And so, I waited, like a lot of my peers in music video, for an opportunity to direct a studio film or direct a project, and it never happened for me. I did some stuff with Warner Brothers, some stuff with BET, but never that opportunity that I was looking forward to have my own film, do my own picture. And so what you have to do is you're always constantly having to reinvent yourself in this business and create a lane for yourself so that you can get noticed for opportunity. And that's what I did. It was like I sat around for years waiting on my turn instead of creating my turn. And I found this property, this script, and I bought it and produced it. And I had some other people join in, help me produce it. And we did this really awesome project that now we entered into a film festival. So
So it's complete.
It's complete. We finished it last month. Well, this month.
Okay. So when will it be available to the public or Amazon or?
It's going to Sundance.
Sundance.
If we get accepted, it's already got entered into Sundance, South by Southwest.
Okay.
Tribeca Film Festival has been entered, and
is that your first time with Tribeca?
It's my first time.
Oh, okay. Cause I seen it and I was like, I wonder what this is. I've never heard of it.
This is my first time, and so we're going the festival route.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get exposure and get into the rooms with people that make decisions, and they go to these film festivals looking for that next talent. After Berlin Film Festival, TIFF, Toronto Film Festival, we're entering in all of those. Hopefully we'll get in, and then we see what happens. Distributors come to those film festivals looking for content, and then our next step after that is once it hit the film festivals, then we'll take it on a 4-city tour and do a premiere. And we'll put that on the bed, put it up on Amazon, or put it up on Vimeo, wherever we find it.
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill, yeah. And move on to the next one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, well, you know what? From one Cincinnati person to another, I am very proud of you, and
thank you.
I hope you inspire some of my little cousins still up there. I mean, just let them know that it is possible to make it out of Cincinnati.
Oh my God, yes.
Because you know what? I noticed when people leave, they don't go back really.
They don't.
They don't go back really. I haven't been back since '97, and I was in the 8th grade when I left. So.
Well. All my family is there.
Yeah.
I don't have any family in Texas other than my siblings. And it's home. I mean, I love home, but I don't expect people, like I said, you're not from there.
Yeah.
You're not moving there. No. Now, they're turning that around, but it's where things make sense for me. And in telling people how to get out, that's one of the reasons why I came back to Texas Southern, because I was finding that a lot of students lack the ability to take that degree and get to the next level. And because I've said time and time again that I've been anointed in what it is that I do, I felt that I always feel the strong need to share the information, to not hoard it. And that's part of the reason why I came back to Texas Southern to teach in the interim of making this film, to help the next generation surpass any place that I've been, and create a network of professionals that can work together and have attachment to this department to help the next generation, come up and keep this department in school communication vibrant and alive. So it's twofold. So
you're here, you're just staying. No, I mean, I've been here for so long, so I understand. Yeah. I really do. I guess the next question that I'll have for you is for aspiring filmmakers, whether they're in school or not in school or just trying to be self-taught, would you say that there's like one direct path to get to satisfaction?
Oh, absolutely.
Degree, versus self, what's the pros and cons for coming to the university and then someone being self-taught or you try to do it on their own, because not everybody have the option to go to the school. Yeah.
Well, here's the contradiction. Life's contradiction. So I'm going to throw one out there. I don't believe you need a college degree to do this. I'm of yet for somebody to ask to see my degree, and I just completed a master's in June. But what I do believe is that when you come to a university and you get the opportunity to learn and study, then you get the opportunity to build your craft, to work on a skill set, to learn how to manage your time and to reach deadlines, set goals, and execute deadlines. It's all a precursor to showing that you can get into something and finish. But you can do the same thing out on the streets. You can go buy you a camera, You can start producing projects. You can start putting things together, content together. You can start writing stories. You can start shooting your own stories, posting them up now on YouTube where that wasn't there before. I truly believe if YouTube was around when I was a student, or even Twitter, I'd be way further than where I was, because we were doing extraordinary work, and we were very in tune with our peer group, you know. And so now with YouTube and social media, you can make yourself, create a lane for yourself, but it all comes with hard work and dedication. You have to be able to go that extra mile and constantly create content that people are feeling and connecting to. And then the powers that be, the HBOs and the Showtimes and the Amazons and the Netflix, they'll start seeing your traffic. They'll start seeing that you have an audience, and then they'll take that and bring you in and make it bigger and connect you to an even bigger audience. So you can find a lane for yourself. You definitely can, and you can create. You still got to learn and study and grow and get the experience, you know. So it's whatever lane you pick.
Okay. Yeah. All right, last question. So let's say you're making a movie about yourself. Who would you have star you? Would you go pull one of your relatives, or would you go ahead and get would you get somebody that really know you, or would you go ahead and get one of them top billed movie stars that's hot right now?
Nobody's never asked me that question. Okay, so who would I have play me?
Danny Glover. Donald Glover?
Donald Glover. Yeah. Yeah, Danny Glover's too old.
Oh, yeah.
he's about 80.
He's still kicking out.
He's still kicking. Wow, what a great question.
Man, I stumped you. Man, I
feel
special.
Because as a director, I'm going to pick a good actor.
Right.
But the person that keeps coming out in my head that I would work with, that I would have play me, is a guy named Travis LaBranch. Travis LaBranch is a really talented upcoming actor. Another person, and he's starring in my film Possum too. But he also has a really big social media following, Travis LaBranch, because he's brothers to August Alsina. The other person that would play me, it was a good friend of mine, is Jay Farrell. Jay is funny, and we prank each other all the time. He gets my humor. He gets my humor. So Jay would play me. I would between Travis
and Jay,
yeah.
So who would be your co-star?
Ooh. Who would be my co-star? You know, it's really I don't know. Who would you suggest?
All right, that's your homework.
Yeah.
I don't know your entire life story, so I would have to actually see which direction. Would you go from like childhood to now, or would you go from now and then flash back to childhood? Like, it depends on how you go about that. Who's going to be your co-star?
Who would be my co-star? Yeah. I would have to do some research. That'd be my homework. But Jay or Travis would definitely play me. That's where I would start. Where I would start.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. I really do. And do you have any word of encouragement for Houstonians or Cincinnatians before we go?
Oh, Cincinnatians first. First of all, if you guys want to achieve something, any goal, if your vision or your dream is to aspire for something greater, the first thing you do, and this is what I did, is set a blueprint. You can't build a house without a blueprint. You want a beautiful, luxurious home, all of that goes into the blueprint. And so once you set your blueprint, then the builder comes in and they start to work to those plans, right? So you write down your goals and your plans and how you're going to get to those goals. And then you start checking those lists off. And before you know it, you'll be on a flight out of Cincinnati to your destination, to your future. And that is the realest thing I could ever tell you. Believe in yourself. Don't let people kill your dreams. One of the things that I did was I just didn't share my dreams with people because they were my dreams. And people could step on them, and that hurts. And then if you second guess yourself or doubt yourself, then that dream dies. So I never let my dreams out there for people to kill it, even family. So, if you got tougher skin, and you can use that as fuel for people that's trying to kill your dream. You can use that as fuel and be like, well, I'll show you. However that works for you, but it doesn't work without making plans, setting a plan to build your house on solid foundation, checking off those things you want to do, and catching that flight out of Cincinnati or wherever you're living in your town, USA.
Okay. And for Houston?
And for Houston, same thing. Same thing. Just set those goals and don't bullshit yourself. There's people that actually do a little something and then think they moved a mountain, and you really just played yourself. Because if you're in the same place that you were when you started the following year, you didn't do nothing. Mm-hmm. Don't use excuses and saying, well, I don't know how to get to this person or that person. Because I went from Texas Southern to Los Angeles, living in D.C., working at BET, moving to New York, to Los Angeles, and becoming Dr. Teeth in a totally separate genre in music video from television. And now I have to reinvent myself to get into this film thing. Constantly have to keep working on reinventing yourself and creating spaces for yourself to be successful. You don't have to wait on somebody to give you a shot.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.